After the destruction of Pharaoh and his army, the story of the children of Israel entered a new phase. They were promised that they would inherit the glory, wealth and freedom that Pharaoh had previously possessed if they obeyed the commands of Allah. This is confirmed by him, thus, and we bestowed them upon the children of Israel. Quran Surah Ashyu'ara verse 59. The impact of the fall of Pharaoh's power also seeped into the socio-political order of Egyptian society. According to Ibn Abdul Hakam in his book Tarikh Mishr, after the destruction of Pharaoh and his army, Egyptian noble women began to control the royal throne. Because almost all noble men drowned in the Red Sea with Pharaoh. At that time, Egyptian noble women began a new order of social life, in which they acquired and managed the resources of the kingdom that were previously controlled by male nobles. To continue their noble lineage, they also began to marry people other than nobles, namely men from ordinary society. The story of the children of Israel begins when they crossed the sea and went to the land of Sham. For 3 days they could not get water. Many of the children of Israel complained about this condition. Even if they found water, they found nothing but salty and bitter water that was almost impossible to drink. After a few days on a long journey after the destruction of Pharaoh and his army, the condition of the children of Israel was quite alarming, especially the drinking water crisis. Allah then ordered Moses to take a piece of wood and put it into a water source that was not suitable for consumption. With Allah's permission, the water turned into fresh water and could be drunk by all the children of Israel. In addition to providing the miracle, at that time Allah also taught Prophet Moses, peace be upon him, and the Israelites about various obligations, sunnahs and wills. Allah reminded them to always keep them in every situation and condition. But after some time, the Israelites ignored the divine message conveyed through the words of Prophet Moses. The misuse of the children of Israel after the destruction of Pharaoh and his army was recorded in the Quran, namely Surah Al-Araf verses 138 to 139, which means, "And we saved the children of Israel across the sea, the Red Sea. When they came to a people who continued to worship idols, they said, 'O Moses, make us a god, idol, as they have some gods, idols.' Moses replied, 'Indeed, you are ignorant people. Indeed, they will be destroyed by their beliefs, and what they have done will be in vain.' To awaken the children of Israel, Prophet Moses then mentioned the various favors of Allah given to them. That they had been superior to previous nations in all aspects of life, ranging from knowledge, Sharia, the number of messengers who were among them, goodness, to gifts from him such as being saved from the grip of Pharaoh's power and his army, as well as countless other favors. He explained that worship is only entitled to be given to Allah, there is no partner for him. Because he is the creator, the giver of sustenance and the mighty. At the same time, Prophet Moses also rebuked them directly that their request for an idol to be made so that they could be worshipped was a very foolish request for people, like them, who had received gifts directly from Allah. Prophet Moses then ordered the children of Israel to enter Beit al-Maqdis and fight the pagans at that time, namely the Majusi from among the Haytsan, Faza, Canaan, and so on. Because at that time there was a political power dispute and because Allah had previously promised the place to the children of Israel through the words of Prophet Abraham and Prophet Moses. But in reality, the children of Israel refused and were reluctant to strive to obey the divine command. They said, "O Moses, verily in that land there are people who are very strong and cruel. We will not enter it until they come out of it. If they come out of it, surely we will enter." Quran Surah Al-Ma'idah verse 22. They even flatly rejected the command of Prophet Moses to wage jihad after being warned by him several times. Some of the Israelites said loudly and vociferously, "O Moses, until whenever we will not enter it as long as they are still in it, so go with your Lord, and fight both of you. Let us remain here. Quran Surah Al-Ma'idah verse 24. Hearing the answer of his people, Prophet Moses was very sad and could only pray. He, Moses, said, "O my Lord, I only control myself and my brother. Therefore separate us from the wicked." Quran Surah Al-Ma'idah verse 25. So Allah afflicted them with excessive fear and stranded them in the field of T. They wandered there for 4 quintillion years without a country. The story of the children of Israel after the destruction of Pharaoh and his army ends with his words. Allah said, "If so, then, the land is forbidden to them for 40 years, during which they will wander in confusion on the earth. So do not grieve about the fate of the wicked." Quran Al-Ma'idah verse 26. They, the Israelites, were punished for the defiance when commanded by Allah to strive in His way. They walked aimlessly day and night. It is said that none of them came out of the field of T for 40 years. None remained except the descendants, Yudah and Caleb.